Coach, got to be one of the more frustrating days at the ballpark you've had here at Mississippi State. But it seemed like it kind of got away from you there in the middle innings. But what were you seeing at the plate? It seemed like it was difficult for you guys to barrel some balls up.
Long, just long. I don't know if we were trying to hit a homer today because the wind was blowing out, but we were around everything, under everything. Just not a competitive day offensively.
You had it set up well there. You got the bunt to put two in scoring position. You had 2, 3, 4 coming up. I mean, what did you see from Dakota and Hunter there in those last two at-bats?
Just when he missed. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. We were big all day long. We were big all day long, and not just those two, everybody. And we just stayed big. We did, you shorten up, you put a ball in play, we're probably still playing or the game's over. And that's who you want at the plate. Those are two of the best players in the country. You want them at the plate right there, and unfortunately, we don't get contact.
Coach, it's game 30. We saw Gage Haley for the first time. Can you talk a little bit about his performance, maybe what the plan was there?
I thought he was pretty good. We're just trying to get another guy or two in there in the midweek. I mean, we're obviously, you can tell we fall behind in every midweek game. We just can't. Trying to get some guys some work, trying to get them out there so they can help us a little more on the weekends. And right now, the weekends, you're trying to hold your arms and stack them for the weekend, and but other guys got to step up. And I thought Gage was great. I thought he mixed 3 pitches for strikes. I think he had to calm down a little bit after his first inning, or his first hitter. But I thought he did a pretty good job.
What did you see from Logan today? And kind of what went into his struggles?
Just not competing in the strike zone. I mean, that's the frustrating thing is we're leading the game and we bring him in to face the right part of the lineup that matches up to him. We don't walk a guy, hit a guy, walk a guy, and then we're behind and we have to throw balls and they hit a couple balls. I mean, it's we create their momentum. Did the same thing this past weekend. Like until we stop all that, then it's hard to pitch. It's hard to pitch when you keep putting guys, especially 9 holes. That's what we have a tendency right now to put the 9-hole on instead of just pounding the strike zone. Hey, if they get a hit, I'm fine with it. But unfortunately, on a really offensive day, we don't pound the strike zone.
Steve, you mentioned the whole thing about the wind. Sometimes it's a negative thing to walk out there and see the wind blowing out because you mentioned guys want to elevate everything. Did you sense later in the ball game that maybe that calmed down a little bit because you were able to kind of string some bats together?
I don't know. I still think we were long there in the last couple of bats. So Johnny Long, he's always short. Hits that ball in there. Heisek gets one. I bring Jackson McKenzie off the bench. He wasn't part of it all day, but for the most part, we were just long and under balls all day long and wrapped around balls. I mean, we had first and third multiple times. I don't know if it was 2 or 3, and we hit the double plays. I mean, those runs right there in itself, you win the ball game just to keep the game closer. But we just wrap around everything.
Benjamin.
Early start time and a bit of a later crowd kind of forced you guys to sort of bring your own energy and juice to the dugout. Do you feel like that was there throughout the game?
Actually, they were great. They were great pregame. They were great early. We've been here early since this morning. I didn't see any issues there. Unfortunately, once we fell behind, it felt like we became very flat at that point. So I don't know. We've had to play from behind on every midweek, so we should be used to it. And we've come back from behind. We've had good. These midweek games are just you're keeping arms for the weekend, and you got to be a little more offensive. And unfortunately, today we weren't.
Steve, you had some guys that have been on the shelf for a little while. What's the possibility or probability of getting some guys like maybe Joe or Nate or Bradley back this weekend?
We're working in that right direction. I mean, they're all improving. So hopefully they'll be available here soon.
Steph.
You see Nolan obviously get the start on the bump end in the lineup. What do you think of kind of how he handled that today?
I thought he pitched good. He's not giving us great at bats right now for a great hitter. He's a really good hitter. He's got to be more selective. He's got to work counts a little bit more. He's just excited to hit right now, and it's a lot of swing. And if you watch him in BP, he's one of our best guys. He's a super talented player, but he's got to slow it down a little bit and see the baseball and work counts and give us a little bit more.
Robbie.
We've seen some progress in SEC play, especially this year, and you guys have been right there the last 2 weekends. How important is this weekend to win the weekend and have a big weekend against a good Georgia team?
It's huge. We got to go out there and play really good baseball against a really good team, and that's how SEC plays every week. Every weekend is huge. Everything that you can get, you are scrambling to get every win that you can in this league. And so we're off tomorrow. We'll have really good practice on Thursday and get ready to play great baseball this weekend.
Steve.
Initial impressions of Georgia, it seems like pitching sometimes is a little hit or miss, but they're a team that can hurt you at the plate. I mean, they can win a slugfest or at times win impressions of them
Yeah,
offensively?
I think it's 80-something homers, and it's the OPS. I mean, they walk and hit HBPs. They they have a high on base percentage. I mean, so they kind of work it both ways there, and then just wait for the homer. So it's a walk, it's an HBP, it's a homer, and create some offense that way. They got some good players in that lineup, and they got some good arms in there too.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.